everyone, this is Allison Fletcher. I am the Drunk Astrologer, and today I am going to do a really quick video. I just want to talk about some things that I've noticed recently while doing beauty and love spells. Kind of talk about it, and hopefully maybe this can almost be like a tips and tricks type video, kind of helping other people with their spell work, specifically when it comes to beauty spells and love spells. Honestly, because those are the two main type of spell work that I've been doing right now. I started by doing a lot of beauty spells because I had lost a lot of self-confidence in myself. I just didn't like who I saw in the mirror. And so I started doing a lot of spell work because to me, the essence of beauty spells is not about necessarily becoming more beautiful, but liking yourself better. Because when you like yourself better, you do become more beautiful. And when you look at yourself in the mirror with a sense of confidence and with a sense of love towards yourself, that in and of itself is spell work. Every time you look at the mirror, if you tell yourself, I love what I see. If you smile when you look at yourself in the mirror, you are already doing spell work. But if you look at the mirror and you go, oh, God, I look like that? Oh, what's going on with my face here? Oh, why am I so fat? Like, ugh. That right there is doing negative spell work to yourself. So we do beauty spells to increase our self-confidence. And honestly, when you've increased your self-confidence, you have more energy to take care of yourself. If you have an increased sense of self-confidence, you have more energy to do the 15 steps of makeup it takes for a woman to do in society. It's easier to do the 4 different types of face creams that are good to do for your face. It's easier to do all the steps that are necessary to keep your face from breaking out, to keep yourself exercising. Like, if you feel confident about yourself, it is easier to exercise. If you like who you are, you can go out there and you can do 75 squats in 10 minutes and just go. Actually, I think it took me less. I think I did 75 squats in like 3 minutes today. But if you don't like who you are, each squat you do, each rep you do of a workout, each meal you eat, it is harder to take care of yourself and to do it 100%. It takes more energy if you look in the mirror and don't like yourself. So that right there is the basis of every beauty spell, is to give us confidence so that we have the energy to do what we need to do. If you are not an occult person, if you don't believe in that, if you believe in science, which I come from a science background. Before I started getting witchy with it, with my life, and getting into the astrology and the cards and everything, I was a scientist. I had my bachelor's degree in biology. I did that. And you can easily argue that beauty spells are scientific in a way. This is how psychology works. One of the things I've always remembered is in one of my psych classes, we talked about the concept of, if there's a crowd of people and you're doing an activity, if there's a crowd of people watching you, so the person doing the activity, if they were asked beforehand how comfortable they felt with what they were doing, and they said that they were comfortable or that they believed in themselves, when they had a crowd of people, they would achieve more. But if they said they were unsure, or if they didn't believe in themselves, and they had a crowd of people around them, they would achieve less. That is a psychological study that has been done. So beauty spells are us taking control. Beauty spells are us believing in ourselves so that we can get even better. So just so you guys know, one of my favorite beauty spells, easiest beauty spells I do, you could even argue that this is just a psychological trick, is anytime I look at myself in the mirror. So anytime there's a mirror in the room I am in, I look at it and I pinpoint the parts of myself that I don't necessarily like. So like my teeth aren't white enough and they're not straight. I look in the mirror and I say out loud, as long as like I'm not in a public bathroom with a bunch of people watching me, I look in the mirror and I say, I have straight and clean or white teeth. I look at myself, I say, I have a bright and clear complexion. My body is strong and fit. I just constantly doing stuff like that. That right there is spell work. If you want to add some candles to it, sometimes like if I'm really kind of not liking who I am, I'll add a couple candles to it. There's a couple like incantations you could read. But that is the essence of what I'm doing, is every single time and you always want to use present tense. You never want to say I wish or I hope or I want. You always want to use I am and I have. Another place that this works really well is a weight loss spell that I do. Anytime I get a new bottle of water or fill my water bottle up, I hold my hands around it, and if I'm at work, I just kind of close my eyes or just kind of sit silently to myself. But if I'm at home by myself, I'll say it out loud. And I wrap my hands around the bottle of water and I say things like, I only crave healthy foods. I only eat what I need to survive. You could change that however you want. Sometimes I say I have a fast metabolism. Sometimes I say things like I'm at my perfect weight. I'm not. There is weight that I need to lose. But by saying that as I have and I am doing spell work and putting that into the universe. The other thing is, I don't know about other people, but for me, there's a level of arrogance when I do that spell. So after I've done that spell, if I walk into a room and there are donuts there, I want to prove that my spell worked. So I don't eat the donuts. I don't think that's necessarily exactly how the spell is supposed to work, but that's how it works for me. Is I don't want to prove the spell wrong. I want to prove the spell right. So when it comes down, like when I'm cooking a meal for myself and I've done that, I'm gonna be like, oh, let's make sure I have a balanced meal. Let me make sure I have enough protein. Let me make sure I keep my carbs down. That kind of stuff. So that's always a good spell to do. One of the things when doing beauty spells is you have to remember you are only you. You're not some celebrity who, like, one thing about these celebrities that you have to, I remember all the time is they don't have to work full-time jobs. Part of their full-time job is working out for 3 hours a day. I don't have time for that. I fit in a 30-minute workout, that's good for me. We are not these celebrities. We are not made the way they are. We are not made like maybe the popular girl in school that you always remember about. You're not made like her. You're not made like the popular guy. You are made as you. So you can only improve you. You cannot become someone else. Beauty spells are not going to all of a sudden give you a better nose. Your nose is your nose. Now, you can, if you have acne on your nose, you can deal with that and get clear skin on your nose. But you can't get a smaller nose or a bigger nose. You are who you are. I mean, if you want to get plastic surgery, be my guest. But that's not spell work. I mean, I guess you could do spell work to get the money. Whatever. I'm not getting into that. But that's not, like, spell work is just becoming a better version of you. And the best piece of advice that I can give when it comes to doing beauty spells, well, there's kind of two. The first is confidence. You have to remember to believe in yourself. If you believe that you can make yourself better, that you can become more beautiful, that you can lose weight, then what you do will work. But if you are like, I'm gonna do these weight loss spells, but I can't actually lose weight, I can't do it, so I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna eat fast food every day, that's just all I can do, that's the only thing I can do, then the spell's not gonna work, because you are counteracting your own spell. You have to have confidence, you have to believe in yourself. The other thing is, after you do beauty spells, just listen to yourself. Just follow your thought process, follow your intuition, trust your gut. One of the interesting things that happened to me when I first started doing the beauty spells is I would walk in a room and I would see something I had. Like, I had apple cider vinegar in my bathroom. I had it for a completely different reason. I walked into the bathroom and I looked at that and I go, I wonder if that would help me with my teeth. So I did a little bit of research. Sure enough, if you are having gum problems, if you're having issues with your teeth, dilute some apple cider vinegar, rinse with that. You then have to immediately floss, brush, and use a mouthwash that doesn't have apple cider vinegar. You don't want it staying in there. But you do that, and I'm telling you, it works. I have had no bleeding issues since I've started doing that. I haven't had the pain issues I used to have with my teeth. And that was that is because of a beauty spell. I walked in to my bathroom and I got an idea. That's how beauty spells can work too. The other thing is I walk into a store right now, and like after I do a beauty spell, if I walk into a store and I feel drawn to a specific type of makeup, I go check that out and I buy it. Because there's obviously a reason why I'm doing that. The other thing that's really funny that's been happening is I keep thinking that I need to cut my hair, because I cut my hair 4 years ago. I actually like shaved the sides off and had a little bit on top. That was 5 years ago, 4.5, somewhere around there. And I haven't had my hair touched by a hairstylist since then. I do all my own. I dye my hair on my own. I've done sun bleaching. I've done all that stuff. My hair is not like super healthy. So I keep thinking I should cut all the hair. Every single time I go to make an appointment to get my hair cut, my hair instantly becomes brighter and healthier and prettier. I take that as a sign that I just need to leave my hair the way it is. So after you do the beauty spells, have confidence in what you're doing, and then trust your gut, trust your intuition. So, and a lot of that is kind of the same with love spells. Like, I've talked a lot about beauty spells up to this point, but I've also been doing a lot of work with love spells right now. And one of the experiences I've had since doing love spells is, after you do a love spell, I truly believe that you should just say yes as often as possible. And that is what I'm doing. Is ever since then, I'm saying yes. Now, I'm not saying swipe right on every single guy on Tinder. Don't do that. Have standards. Like, don't start chatting with every single man in your town. But if someone approaches you and you don't like have a bad feeling, do it. I had a situation recently. I had already met this person once, and they invited me to a bar that I've never been to before, and that kind of scares me. And I had done some love spells recently, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna say yes. I thought about it. I didn't have any bad feelings. I pulled a couple cards on the place. I don't like the place, but it's just not my sort of place. But so I said yes. I ended up having a great time. I actually got some of my questions answered. But that's the type of thing that you gotta do. You have to say yes after you do a love spell. Because if you do a love spell and then you say no to every single suitor, what's the point of doing a love spell? And that's the other thing, like, you have to truly be ready for love. It has been 3.5 years for me since I have been with someone that I love. It's been 3.5 years since I've been in love. And been in a relationship. And up until this point, I don't think any love spells I would have done recently would have worked. Because you have to be ready for love. You have to put in the hard work. You have to get rid of old programming. You have to get rid of old traumas. Your 4th chakra has to go through it. And if you're ready for love, then your love spells are going to work. If you've gotten rid of old trauma, and we had an opportunity to do this recently. We had all those freaking retrogrades and Venus retrograding in Scorpio last year. We had all of that. That 2018, that was the time to get rid of old traumas. So if you did what you were supposed to do with the astrology in 2018, you are ready for love, probably. Hopefully. But you have to be ready or else love spells aren't going to work. So, yeah, let me see. I have some notes here because I had quite a few things I wanted to say. So yes, as much as possible. Be flexible. You never know how the love spell is going to play out. And you have to be ready, because if you're not ready, you're going to continue to say no to every single person that comes your way. And I'm not saying say yes to every single person that comes your way. It's, again, don't swipe right on everybody on Tinder. Have standards, as long as but don't say no to everybody too. I know. Don't say no, don't say yes. I know, I'm so confusing. The other thing is, when you're doing love spells, be as specific as possible. I learned this the hard way. When I first started doing love spells, I had 5 things I wanted in a partner. I wanted someone I found attractive. I wanted someone who tipped waiters well. That's a big thing for me, because if you treat a waiter well and you tip well, that's just a good characteristic. Must love my goats. I have 2 goats. They had to love animals enough to love my goats. And there were 2 other things about respecting my passion and having a passion of their own. That was not enough, because apparently I found people that matched all 5 of those, but what I forgot was interested in me. That is an important one to include. If you're writing down what you want in a man, if you're doing some spell work, or a woman, I don't care, in a partner, if you're writing down, one of the things I recommend is just kind of writing a list, continuously writing a list of things you want. You can burn the list, you can make a sigil off the list, burn the sigil, you can charge the sigil, take it with you. Include interested in you. Be specific. Don't be afraid, don't go too specific, he has to have black hair that's 3.5 inches, and he has to be 5'2" or lower, or 6'2" or higher. You can include is tall. Is taller than me. That's an okay thing to want. But don't be he has to be 6'2". So, and it's the same thing with the beauty spells, is after you do it, trust your intuition. Trust your gut feeling. Trust your thought process. Just trust what the spell is bringing you. Yeah. So that is some of my thoughts and my tips and my tricks while doing some beauty and love spells recently. It's all been playing out very interesting. I will be doing some more pick a card readings here soon. I'm going to be doing some more, probably talking a little bit more about spells, talking about the astrology. We do have a full moon coming up. That's going to be fun. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's coming with me on this journey. I'll see you next time.